Kitties and castration. Why do we do it? Because we're mean? No. To prevent overpopulation, cats really can have a lot of kittens in a short period of time, and that's why feral cat populations are increasing so much. So a neighbor brought in this cat. It's a feral cat. You can tell though it's not that feral because it's obviously been around people. But it does have its little testicles down here, and you can always see them. They stick out around the hind end there, and those are, so you can see how nice this kitty is. It really doesn't mind if I hold its testicles. And do a surgical procedure on animals. What we do is we look at them and make sure they're healthy. So we look at their weight and make sure we don't see the ribs sticking out. Look for any problems. Sometimes if they have a lot of infections in the skin, that could mean that they're not that healthy. So first of all, with cats, just to do a brief physical exam like we would and show you what we do, we look at the eyes. And the eyes, oh, there's a door. Close the door. We look at the eyes and they're nice and clear. And cats get runny eyes a lot. They get viral infections. And some cats can have chronic viral infections of the membranes of the eye and also the sinuses. And they will have a bunch of snot that comes out. And they have greenish discharge from the eye, and that can be an infection in the eye. So we look at that, and we look for ear mites, which is real waxy, dirty, waxy stuff in the ears. And I've just stopped because I think this little kitty has some. So we can show you what that looks like when we're under anesthetic. And then we look at the teeth. Teeth are nice and white, and gums are nice and pink gums mean there's good oxygen. See, and cats will often itch when they have ear mites, and this cat shakes its head and itches. Ooh, and we'll show you what that looks like inside. And that's a sign of ear mite when you shake the head like that. Show us signs of ear mites. That's my hand. That's what cats do when they have ear mites. They really scratch a lot, then you'll see black gunky wax in their ears. So then I look for any swellings or other wounds. Look at their feet and see if everything looks normal. Their claws are the normal size and shape, and the feet are good. And then I listen to the pump, the heart, because we want the heart to be a normal rhythm and working well in order to give them the anesthetic. Well, the cat's purring. I can hear that real well. So this little kitty just loves to be handled. But I can hear the heart through that, and it's got a normal rhythm. Boom, 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 boom. And then we look underneath. Make sure there's no swellings underneath, hernias, and fill the abdomen. I can take this out now. I can actually feel the kidneys, and I can feel the bladder most times. And make sure that's normal. And then you can look for tapeworms around the cat's butt. Tapeworms look like little sesame seed grains on a hamburger bun. And if you see those, that's tapeworms. So we don't see any sesame seed grains, and we see those nice little testicles there that are gonna come off. So the next thing we do is we give the cat some anesthesia and get ready to do castration. And then I'll show you what the mite infection looks like in the ears. Are you ready? So we've got to restrain him.
That should help.
Kitty, some kitties don't like it as much as others, but you can see now he's getting quite sleepy. In fact, he's very sleepy. He's going to sleep. We're going to lay him on a nice little towel, and we're going to put some mineral oil in his ear, so you can get the camera right in there. You can see. I'll show you what black gunk coming out of the ears looks like when they have mites. See, that's probably, we'll see mites on the microscope, but this is a mite infestation. So if we put some of that on the slide, you don't have to do that at home because you don't have a microscope. But if you see that kind of blacksy stuff, 9 times out of 10 it's a mite infection. Especially when you saw how much this little cat was itching his ears. So I'll show you what a real mite looks like under the microscope. And then we'll put some stuff in his ears to cure the mite infestation. However, they're already starting to drown now because we're putting mineral oil on. And they're going, I can't breathe. So if we look down in the microscope, we'll see, you can see the mites. That's what they look like.
No, not at all.
That's the legs and the head, and that's something stuck on its rear end. It's a female. They're mating. I don't want to say any more. This is a family show. This is another ear mite. You can tell it's really moving around. I'll try to get it up on the screen so we can watch it walking around. That's what's in their ear. Pretty active one. So what we do is we take blood out of the jugular vein to get a feline leukemia, to get the blood for a feline leukemia test and a feline AIDS test. And you can see our technician, Kim, is hopefully going to hit the vein and get the blood out. It's not always easy to get blood out of a cat's vein. What we do sometimes is we shave it, but sometimes that'll cause irritation, so I will also just pluck the hair away, or we'll shave, either one. In order to keep the hair away from the surgical area, we're going to shave it nicely. There we go. That's so nice and pretty and clean. The testicles all shaved, and we prep them. It's not as much of a surgical prep or surgical procedure as a spay is, because there never seems to be any problems. We just cut right over the testicle, and the testicle starts to come out of both sides like that, and then we pull, and the secret is to come on the same side, and then you clamp it up above like that, and then I'll cut, and then it kind of forms the knot. This starts the starting of the knot. So then I'll cut the testicle off, and I'll put that blade away, and then we want to bring the loop above the cord, above the instrument, and it ties down on the cord. So we make it nice and tight so it doesn't bleed, and then I'll take the blade and I will cut the rest off. So now you'd say, gosh, what's going to happen to those wounds? Well, they heal up just fine.
Well, you can tell that cat wasn't very happy to be restrained and injected. Cats have a particular aversion to being restrained. We try to do as gently as we can, but we usually have to scruff them and hold their legs. And it's a brief amount of panic and frustration for them, but often it's the only way to do it. And people often get hurt more dealing with cats than with even hard-to-handle dogs. They're quick and they're agile and muscular. Anyway, and also feral cats. As you can tell, that wasn't a feral cat. A feral cat actually means a domesticated cat that's gone back to the wild. And that cat definitely had been around neighborhoods. But it wasn't castrated. Nobody was taking the responsibility for it. So my neighbor did and I did, because we can't have all the feral cats running around breeding and making more cats. And often in feral cat colonies they are filled with feline leukemia and all the respiratory viruses, and the little kittens get exposed to so much at such an early age that they're often very sickly. I didn't really talk about how to treat ear mites other than to say put mineral oil in the cat's ears for a temporary treatment, which will get out the wax and drown the mites that are there. But the eggs will hatch, and some of the larvae around the ear will come back, and the ear mites around the neck and face of the cat may reinfect the cat's ear, and that's why you need to use another product. There's Revolution, which is a spot you put on the cat's neck right behind the head, and it will kill fleas and ear mites, and you have to use it monthly for several months in a row in order to get rid of all the mites and the ones that keep hatching from the larval stages. You can use the mineral oil if money's tough, but you have to treat the kitty's ears weekly for several months, and they get tired of that. Veterinarians carry a product called Acarex, which also you can use once every 3 weeks in order to treat the ear mites. So whatever you use, sometimes you have to keep at it for a little while, but most cats don't get it. It can be individual, and then some cats just can't get rid of them. Anyway, check out my website, dogdishdiet.com. My Dog Dish Diet is now a Kindle, and I have a crock-pot cookbook, and you can use that to cook food for your dogs. And also, if you use more meat in the recipe, like 80% meat and only 20% vegetables, the same recipes can be modified to use cats. I use meat, liver, rice, and a little green beans, and put it in the crock pot for 10 to 12 hours, and the bones are crumbly, and some of my cats like it, 2 out of the 3. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great day, and enjoy our springtime weather. Here in California, we're getting a little rain, but hopefully it'll lead to warmer days ahead. Enjoy all your furry friends.